that we see or see is but a dream within a dream.
So many nights I sat here waiting. There were times I couldn't go on. Still my heart was anticipating. It made me be strong, made me hold on. I'll be there in the night when you need me.
Whenever we write or I write the words, because he does the music and I do the words, it always has, the words always come back to reflections of, they have a little bit of your own self, and it has to, you know, has to have your own identity in there. So your own personal experience, maybe things that you've been going through and come out the other side and you can look back and reflect on, or things that maybe your friends are going through, or things maybe you wish that you were going through, and you kind of take all of these personal feelings and experiences and weave them together into one full storyline that hopefully everybody can relate to at some point.
I'll be there in the night when you need me. I'll be there, close your eyes and you'll see me. Just on my day.
Well, it's almost like a showcase CD, because there are some extremely hard songs, and then there are the very quiet songs, so they are extremes. There's not a lot of continuity there. The fact that it could be at the Village Lanterne, and there could be a hard rock band playing, there could be a Renaissance band playing, there could be the same people.
There's some reflections into your past even.
It's a reflection of my past, true.
No, some songs that we...
That's right. Some of the songs, one of the songs is called Village Lanterne, surprisingly. Another one is called The Village Lanterne Part 2, isn't it? Old Mill Inn, which is
great sing-along,
how does that
tavern
go?
type of song.
Down at the old mill inn, we'll laugh and dance and sing. We'll drink all day and Bill will pay. Down at the old mill inn.
I think Bill's going to kill us for
That's
that,
right.
isn't he?
And we wrote that, it's almost like a joke for our friends at the tavern
at the Old Mill Inn,
which is on Long Island. And we wrote it for them because they were always so kind to us, and it was a great place to go. It was on the water. And but as we were going to spend probably an hour making that song, and it turned out, we spent about a week on it. And it turned out so good that now it's become the kind of national anthem of wherever we go, all our fans are going berserk.
They're changing all the names to make their own names involved in it.
And we only did it as a kind of a joke. But it's amazing how things change. You think something's just a kind of a throwaway kind of song, and it's turned into one of our most requested songs, isn't it, really?
Down at the old mill inn, we'll laugh and dance and sing. We'll drink all day and Bill will pay. Down at the old mill inn. Down at the old mill inn. The ships are sailing in. We'll drink a toast to Judy, our host. Down at the old mill inn.
The reason we call it the Village Lanterne, I thought it was a good idea to... I've noticed in a lot of the villages, for instance in Germany or Hungary or wherever, people congregate in the local tavern. And of course you have it in Ireland too, where they all sit there with their instruments and they play. And we were trying to... Our music to our fans conjures up this same visual. We're like in the local tavern playing. And everybody comes and everybody gets involved. And that communal kind of spirit.
It should be that comforting feeling of coming home again.
Not much.
Speak for yourself.
Yes. Let's think. On this particular CD, The Village Lantern, we've incorporated a lot more rock and roll, hard rock songs. There are still a lot of Renaissance ideas, and there's quite a few folk tunes. How would you put it?
I think it's even, some of the songs are more grand though. There's like a bigger production on, more dramatic, more intense on some of the songs.
I always find it hard talking about the new record. I never really know what a new record is like until maybe 10 years from now. And then I'll look back and go, oh, that was great, or that was okay. Right. Because you're so close to it. You can't really say. And of course everybody goes around saying, oh, our new CD is the best. Well, I don't know. We just make music. And it's for the people to decide whether it's one of our best or one of our worst.
Or a lot of people ask us what direction we're going in, with the next CD, what direction the next CD is going to be in. And for me, it's almost the most exciting thing about creating a CD is the journey of creating it. It's not, the CD isn't the destination, it's actually the whole entire journey of where you're going at each individual moment and trying new things. And so I don't think we ever really have in mind what direction it's going in definitely. We just kind of go with wherever it's going to take us at the time.
We do lack direction, I suppose, time to time. And invariably when you finish making a record, you always want to do it again, because 6 months later you see it with different eyes and you hear different arrangements. And by the time we take it to the stage performance, we've changed it considerably from what it was on the record. And the record is always just a start. It's just a little concept of an idea. By the time you get to the stage, that's when it really blossoms or falls apart, depending on where we're playing and who we're playing to. Well, it's almost like a showcase CD, because there are some extremely hard songs and then there are the very quiet songs, so they are extremes. There's not a lot of continuity there. The fact that it could be at the Village Lantern, and there could be a hard rock band playing, there could be a Renaissance band playing, there could be the same people.
There's some reflections into your past even.
It's a reflection of my past, true.
And there's some songs that we...
That's right. Some of the songs, one of the songs is called The Village Lantern, surprisingly. Another one is called The Village Lantern Part 2, isn't it? Now, what are the other songs? The Village Maiden.
That's instrumental, yeah.
Instrumental. Then we have a song called 25 Years, which is a Shepherdic song that I kind of borrowed from listening. I listen to some very strange music when I'm at home. And this is what the shepherds would sing and play on their bagpipes to the sheep. And there's one particular song I picked up, which, how does it go, Kenny?
Isn't it Balkan folk music or something?
It's Balkan, yes.
It doesn't go like that.
No.
But you would never know it came from.
No. It's not.
25 years since I woke up trembling. 25 years since that terrible dream. I could see that the world was crumbling. Nothing is ever as it seems.
Now that was sung to the sheep in the Balkan Mountains.
Not those words.
But not with those words. We changed the lyrics, and God knows what he was singing about. But when I play this to my friends, I say, that's where we got the idea from. They'll often say, I just don't hear that. I hear a whole different melody. But I have a habit of taking a melody and changing it. And to me it sounds the same, but to anybody else it doesn't. And then the other songs are called
Old Mill Inn.
Old Mill Inn, which is
Great sing-along,
how does that go?
tavern type of song.
Down at the old mill inn, we'll laugh and dance and sing.
down at the old mill inn. I think Bill's going to kill us for
That's
that,
right.
isn't he?
And we wrote that as almost like a joke for our friends at the tavern
Old Mill Inn?
at the Old Mill Inn, which is on Long Island. And we wrote it for them because they were always so kind to us, and it was a great place to go. It was on the water. And but as we were going to spend probably an hour making that song, and it turned out we spent about a week on it. And it turned out so good that now it's become the kind of national anthem of wherever we go, all our fans are going berserk.
They're changing all the names to make their own names involved in it.
And we only did it as a kind of a joke. But it's amazing how things change. You think something's just a kind of a throwaway kind of song, and it's turned into one of our most requested songs, isn't it, really?
And then there's some more like pop rock songs. Just Call My Name.
That's right.
Is one of them, which I think is the first single.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one called I Guess It Doesn't Matter Anymore, which is about a ghost, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more rock.
To be quite honest, I'm not a perfectionist, but I'm quite particular about my music. And whenever I hear music back that I've made, I'm very rarely happy about what I've done. Sometimes I am, over the years, much later when I can relax about it. But if I hear a song so much, then in the end I tend to get very tired of it. And I think I seem to be that tormented soul that is never happy with my music. I'm always wanting something else, but I don't quite know what it is I want to get. I think I'm still struggling with the concept of trying to incorporate more organically the approach, maybe because Candice now is becoming a very good shawm player. Shawm being the shawm is the
Double reed woodwind Renaissance instrument.
Yes, I couldn't put it better
Is that what
myself.
you're looking for, those words?
Yes, I was just waiting for the bangs to stop. Carry on. Where was I going with
I'm
that?
not sure where you were going with the shawm.
My point being that I'm torn between, this band has the ability to play very organically with the authentic instruments. And on the other hand, we can play the rock side with all the glossy instruments, the guitars and the keyboards, and make it more of a glossy production. And I sometimes wonder which way we should go. And consequently, in the end, I fall down the middle. So we'll make it half organic, half overproduced. And that is my most frustrating thing about the music that we do. It's because I know that we can do it two different ways. And when you have so many ways you can look at music, you end up, it's like painting a picture. You have two visions, and in the end you're going, which vision should I use?
Yeah, that's true.
And if you believe that, you'll believe anything.
But the songs are so strong they stand up on their own. I mean, whether we do it all acoustically, they're all really written just like this, you know, just my voice and his acoustic guitar. And so once we know that that's the skeleton of the song, if it sounds really good like that, then we know we have so many different directions we can go with it. So
because so many
any
people
interpretation
love
would
to
really
hear
work.
it that way, yet a lot of other people want to hear a big production. So that's,
But we do it like this too. Like we'll just go into a restaurant, you know, just like this and start singing and playing, or a winery or a field or wherever. We're always walking around with a penny whistle or a chanter and the guitar. Or a Renaissance fair we'll go to also, and just sit down and start singing and playing for people who, you know, we've never met before. And actually Richie always says that's the biggest challenge.
it is.
Is not so much to step onto a stage to your fans, which is such an incredible, you know, feeling of love, but to actually sit down in a place where nobody knows you and just to start playing in front of strangers and see if they walk out or if they stay and they really like it. And we have some great experiences like that where people just really kind of start piling in, and it's really great. So
We like to surprise people in restaurants by just playing. It's one of our favorite things. It is very challenging because I've been in the bands where we played very big halls to thousands of people with big Marshall amplifications and big unit, and that's a lot easier to do that than to just play in a corner of a restaurant with just a guitar and a voice, and you have to win those people over without the PA, without all the laser lights, you know. So, but we've done it a couple of times. You tell me.
Where'd you go?
You tell me.
Are you going to serenade?
No. Has it, what is it about?
I think it's just a simple love song. It kind of, whenever we write or I write the words, because he does the music and I do the words, it always has, the words always come back to reflections of, they have a little bit of your own self, and it has to, has to have your own identity in there. So your own personal experience, maybe things that you've been going through and come out the other side and you can look back and reflect on, or things that maybe your friends are going through, or things maybe you wish that you were going through, and you kind of take all of these personal feelings and experiences and weave them together into one full storyline that hopefully everybody can relate to at some point, whether they've been through it, they're going through it, or they're going to go through it at some point. And love songs or love stories are always such a common, thread or common story, common connection that I think it's one of those things where, whether it's about experiences or relationship that I may be in or may have, or what somebody else is going through at the time, it always seems to touch a nerve or touch the heartstrings of people. And I'll Be There is one of those love songs, love stories that seems to be universally, touching everybody at this point.
It's very hard to define. To me, I love listening to Renaissance music, so I incorporate that into the music that we're playing. So I would say it's Renaissance rock with lots of folk and ballad influence, those four subjects.
I think we defy category. I don't know, I always can't stand when somebody sticks you in a box and has to stick a label on you for them to understand it, or they have to hear somebody else that sounds like you for them to experience your stuff. And for us, I think we just have such a great freedom in this band that we can play purist Renaissance music with the organic woodwinds if we want to, and the hurdy-gurdy, or we can do folk ballads if we want to, or we could do really loud, rock music, and he's playing the Strat that he's still amazing on. Or I just think those lines tend to be blurred, and it kind of breaks it down and just allows good music to be good music instead of just sticking it into that safe box that people might need to understand it.
That's true. There's not too many bands that have done what we've done before, and sometimes people are afraid of change. We're incorporating Renaissance music with rock and roll, and you'll get the Renaissance purists going, oh, well, that's not Renaissance music. That's not what we're about. And the rock and roll people will say, well, it's not really rock, it's more folk. And the folk people will say, no, it's not folk. So there's a lot of snobbery in music. And musicians, having been a musician for many years, I see a lot of snobbery.
But I think that's what's
which shouldn't really be there.
But that's what's so great about it, is variety. I mean, that's the whole spice of life, they say, right, is variety. And you'd get bored if it was just only one thing. And it's nice to have the freedom to play a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So that's what's so great about being able to do this, right?
No.
No?
The first thing that usually comes with our music is the melody. I'll come up with a melody. For instance, the one that goes... when it's in tune, and Candice will think about what the visual is, and then she'll come up with the text. And of course, that one turned into Renaissance Fair.
It's like the battle cry for all of our fans, isn't it? It gets everybody on their feet. And we always, dedicate that one to all the people who dress up like us, and we save those, first few rows of seats for people who are going to really, really partake in the whole event of the evening. And but as far as the writing is concerned, the great thing about working with Richie is that he, when he's playing music, and he usually starts everything as an instrumental, if you close your eyes and only listen to the music, whether it's going to stay an instrumental or whether it's going to later on become a song that has lyrics to it, if you just close your eyes and take that path with the music, it'll paint a picture in your head. It'll take you someplace to some other time or some other place, or it'll give you a visual. And And those visuals are so strong, so I kind of just like relax and listen to what he's playing and allow it to take me wherever the song wants me to go with it. And that's when I start taking those pictures that are being painted in my head and painting them into words, and then it becomes the songs that we wind up creating. But it usually all starts from the music and wherever that music is going to take you.